Hi, everybody. How you guys doing? Good to see all of you. Good to see all of you. Missed you all. Yo, DJ Know You Shay? Yeah, I heard. I heard that, in fact. Hey, Zach Lemon. Hi, Free Wings. I did fetch Cheney. I saw that Guru shouted me out. I appreciate it, man. I'm really glad. I'm really glad. It's been a long time coming. Demetrius Johnson, I'm now on his radar apparently, and I'm gonna hopefully use that to sanction a fight with DJ. That's my goal. That's my goal. I want a 100% fully sanctioned mixed martial arts fight with me and Demetrius Johnson. That is now my official goal. I'm just kidding. So yeah, Stefan889. Yeah, dude. So I haven't seen anything about it. I've been only researching the parlay all morning. I have no idea, but I heard that he looked really rough on the scale. So I don't know. Where'd Guru shout you out? In his most recent video discussing him meeting Demetrius Johnson around the 8-minute mark. I think it was like 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Guru mentions, he was like, oh yeah, so I was talking to Demetrius Johnson and I realized I was like talking to him and I was like, do you know who Lucas Tracy is? Do you know who Bedtime is? You ever heard of MMA Shay? You heard of these guys? He told DJ all about it. So, I'll take it, man. I'll take it. I'll gladly take it. If you guys don't mind, and if anybody is fucking, baller status, if they wouldn't mind donating a simple little $2 dono with some messages, I want to see. I think I might have fixed the text-to-speech. I might have fixed the text-to-speech, but I don't know. I want to test it out. So, whoever is fucking balling, let's see it. Okay, let's see. Thank you. Did it work?
$2 offering from a humble goy to the synagogue.
Yay! It did it! Yay! Thank you, Dominic DeCoco. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, cool. I heard it that time, so that's good. Cool. I can't wait for people to spam the N-word with the donations. Honestly, it might have echoed because it played from my computer, and I think my microphone picked it up off of the computer. So Shay is clapping like a special ed kid. Oh, that was fucking funny. That was really fucking funny, dude. That was really fucking funny. Dude, you know what, man? Look, we'll get into it when we start talking about the parlay, but I had no idea who Alexa Grasso was fighting. But I looked into this Natalia Silva girl. Dude, she's fucking sick. She is really fucking good. Like, she is such a fast, dangerous striker. She's, like, legitimately, like, decently well-rounded. She has good takedown defense, like, lightning-fast fucking combinations, really good high kicks. I was like, God damn! I was like, Jesus Christ!
S.O. to Kenny for rekindling her passion for gambling.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you. I know, dude. If it wasn't for Kenneth, I wouldn't be doing this. Like, I honestly was completely done gambling, but then he reignited that fire in me. He completely reignited that fire in me. He let me know that it's possible to fucking make money on this shit.
You catch that new Kanye song, Heil Big H? It's dope.
I have not caught the new Kanye song. I have not. I think I heard some snippets of it. Was that the same one where he talked about fucking his cousin, or am I misplacing this one? How much is on the line, Shay, in the parlay? I mean, well, again, right? This is I always have to add this disclaimer. When I put out a parlay like this is very different from my own personal bets. My own personal bets, I will admit, at times I've gone slightly crazy with. But when I make my own parlay, when I give parlays out that I actually research, it's always $25. It's always the amount of money I always think about putting down for profit on these parlays. Now, I'll be completely transparent with all of you. Some of the fights on this card, it's not a great card. Just like name-wise, it's not a great card. As we know, Dana White is pretty much checked out of being the UFC president. He's done. This card's not great. Not every single fight I did a tremendous amount of research on, but all the big-name people, I've looked at the matchups, and I think I've got a pretty safe, solid parlay to put down. Yeah, I'm sorry, Nick Garcia. I'm sorry, man. Oh, Ishant, thank you for the 40 rupees.
Hinge updates, I miss that.
The Bumble and Hinge updates. I mean, dude, I don't know, man. Look, I'll be honest with you. I mean, look, we can definitely get back into the Hinge. The Hinge grind was fun at the time, but like the truth is, dude, is I was just trying to get back out there after me and my ex broke up, and the Hinge was great. You know what I mean? And it was definitely a step in the right direction of getting back out there. But like, dude, ever since I met that girl in New York, I'm like chilling right now. Like I'm kind of starting to get over her a little bit, but like I was deeply in love for like a solid 2 weeks after the fact. How long has it been since when did I see her last? Well, I only saw her for one night, but it was April 27th, so it's been one. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're hitting a little over the 2 week mark about 2 weeks. So, we've all been there. Yeah, I was in love with this girl, man. So like that's why I haven't had any drive to hop back on Hinge, but I'm starting to get over her. So we can definitely get back on there at some point. But yeah, so I wanted to, so I've been hearing all about this weight miss stuff. First of all, I actually want to watch a little bit of, I haven't watched much Kyle Propelic. Oh God. Here we go. I think. Has it not popped up yet? I'm waiting for the text-to-speech to have a fucking aneurysm over Tyler's message. It's not. Did it pop up? Did Tyler's message pop up? I don't. Damn, it blocked me. It might have. I don't know exactly how the text is. I mean, we'll see. It's supposed to pop up. I set it to not. I have an option to not allow messages like Tyler's for the text-to-speech. I turned it off. Because I think the more cancer, the better, honestly. But all right, yeah, I don't know, Tyler. It might not be able to read that, so it gave up on you. Sorry, Tyler. I do appreciate the $2 though, man. Thank you. If you want, I'll try it. There you go. You're welcome. But yeah, I wanted to watch a little bit of Kyle Propelic. I always love when fighters aren't in the UFC yet because, I'm allowed to watch their fights without getting copyrighted. But let's fucking take a look at the weigh-ins because, again, Jose Aldo, I heard he was in really rough shape. And that could theoretically change how the parlay is going to go, to be fair. Let's see, weigh-in. So you guys tell me, did Aldo go to the scale and not make it, or what happened? Did he just inform the UFC he couldn't do it? Brad Katona, the fucking legend, man. Both missed weight. Interesting. So he informed the UFC. All right, I see. Okay, fair enough. God, Bexat Almacom looks like a little baby. He's good, though, man. Apparently, JDM has the best striking defense at welterweight. Thoughts? I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that based on what I've seen of the guy, but, you know, I don't know. Okay, now this is going to be telling if Franco Perry's message pops up. I don't hear it. Did Franco Perry's message pop up? Why the fuck can Streamlabs just not work sometimes, dude? Yeah, I think it's broken. Well, fuck. Well, hey, Franco Perry, thank you for the £2. I really appreciate it. Shevchenko, money line or a decision? We'll get into it, man. We'll get into it. We'll get into it, man. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We're going to get into it briefly. I haven't seen, I've spent the whole morning researching, so I haven't had a chance to see all the drama about Jose Aldo missing weight and whatnot. Let me see. Benoit Saint-Denis looks fucking drained, man. I did fight Milk. I did see that Guru shouted me out to DJ. I greatly appreciate it. I think he's just paying it forward from that one time that I was doing my episode of Staying Gay with Shay at the gym, and I was trying to negotiate with the UFC gym employees about giving me a better membership, and Guru was in my chat. And I told the guy, I was like, hey, man, you know who MMA Guru is? And he was like, yeah, actually. I was like, he's in my chat right now. Can you give me a deal? And I think Guru was just paying it forward. You know what I mean? I shouted him out. He's shouting me out. I think his is worth a little bit more than mine. But, you know, oh, my God, Titano. Thank you for the 99 cents, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you, Titano. Oh, TLG, thank you for the $5. I really wish the fucking voice was reading it to you guys. I don't know why it's not. We've never had the problem of the donos not popping up. So I don't know what the fuck. But what if we just avoid any prop bets? Because I feel like it's always the prop that goes wrong. You know, yeah, I mean, I hear where you're coming from for sure. I do think with certain matchups, betting the distance or betting over on rounds is pretty much always, it could definitely be really solid depending on the fight. But yeah, I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. I think it's just very matchup dependent. Again, right, I'm just going to more or less give you guys the parlay that I've worked out, and we'll discuss the pros and cons with everything. You know what I mean? And we'll see. But yeah, I definitely hear where you're coming from. Like, dude, again, I'm still so pissed about UFC 314 because, dude, that parlay was money. We hit that was a 7-leg parlay, and we hit every single leg except fucking Sean Woodson needed to go to decision, and the referee stopped it early, which fucked us. Oh, I am Walk. Thank you for the $2. JDM beats Islam and Belal. Hype train starts now. Dude, look, I know some of you guys might not want to hear this, but, like, I'm actually a little bit more interested in JDM Islam than I am Islam Topuria. A little bit. I'm a little bit more interested in that, to be completely honest with you. Though I'm also fucking terrified of Oliveira versus Topuria, which does kind of make me want Belal to win a little bit more. But, dude, I think that Charles is very capable of beating Ilya. I think it's always going to be a terrifying fight, but I think he's very capable of winning. Meme Big 8, I think it's a good, I think, you know, for the amount of money you're spending, I get it. But, like, man, I really don't think Manon Farrat's going to knock out what's-her-face, Valentina Shevchenko. But, dude, it's this chick right here. This chick right here, Natalia Silva. I've never heard of her before. I normally don't do any research for any of the women's fights, but I'm like, well, Alexa Grasso is like actually a big name, so let me actually do some research on her opponent. Dude, she's fucking sick. She is so fucking good. Like for the first time in forever, like I'm watching a woman fight, and I'm like, damn. Like, this is exciting. Like, she's really fucking good. Her striking is so fast, and she puts the combos together so well, and she's very well-rounded. I mean, it's hard, John, because she's smaller than Nunes, but she's way faster. I think she's more technical than Amanda. Definitely. All right, where's Jose Aldo? I want to see him, because I heard he looked rough. How good is she in men's terms? She's elite, I think, in terms of like women fighters. I think Natalia Silva's elite. All right, let's see. This is what I'm waiting. I really want to see how Jose Aldo looks on this scale. Damn. What did he weigh in at?
143. 140.
Jesus. It's so crazy, like, how he looks, like, I mean, he looks okay. But, like, the fact that he signed to fight at 135 and he looked like this at 143 is kind of crazy. Darth Malagus, thank you for the 100 rupees. I'll tell you what, Darth Malagus, you have loaded up my bank account with rupees, brother. I've got a lot of rupees now, thanks to you. Never thought in my life I will root for Belal. I can confidently say, like, look, I'm not, like, personally a bigger fan, more or less, than JDM or Belal, but I do want to see JDM win because I would prefer Islam moving up to 170 than Islam fight Ilya. That's just me, though, and I understand some people might have a differing opinion, but I want to see Islam at 170. That's what I want to see.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't think
Thanks, Joey NTL. I appreciate you letting me know. Thanks. Great. God, Manon Farrat is one tall glass of milk, isn't she? She's like a big, strong-looking lady. Aldo missed weight. So I mean, apparently Aldo informed the UFC. I'm not sure exactly when, but Aldo informed the UFC. It was like, look, I can't do it. I am making 135. I'm not making 135. Could we do 145? And the UFC asked his opponent, and his opponent was like, all right. Well, Efi Alp FCS, thank you for the 22 TRY. If Ilya against Ali is minus 200, I'll bet everything, not going to lie. I mean, look, dude, I think that you cannot deny that you do the film study on Ilya, he's not nearly as good on the back foot as he is on the front foot. Like, he's just not. If you can pressure Ilya, he's not nearly as good as he is when he's the one pressuring you. Almost every single Ilya Topuria knockout unequivocally happens when he has you up against the fence. I think that, theoretically, if Charles were to immediately do what he does, which is take the center of the octagon, hands fucking glued to his eyebrows, and he teeps, just fucking calf kicks, and just looks to clinch, I legitimately think he has a real chance of winning. Oh, thank you, John Wings. I don't did I say that Ilya doesn't have? Nah, he has good counters as well. Thank you, John Wings. Who would have fucking thought? Who would have thought? But I mean, yeah, like, dude, Ilya got pieced up against Jai Herbert round one just because he really struggled pressuring him because of his range. Now, obviously, you know, Jai Herbert's Jai Herbert. He's not an elite 55er. He's a pretty bottom. I mean, you know, he's a very mid-tier 55er. But, you know, I don't know. I think people, I mean, look, I think that, again, with what Ilya does, he is such a fucking problem, obviously, right? But, like, I don't think he has a super, super well-rounded game on the feet in terms of being very susceptible to kicks down the middle, very susceptible to calf kicks. Again, if you dude, Bryce Mitchell was having success pushing Ilya back. Again, though, right? It's not like just anybody can beat him just by pressuring him. Bryce had success until Ilya decided to plant and then fucking uppercut hook and then dropped Bryce as Bryce was trying to walk him down. So I'm not saying it's a walk in the park, but like I do think that there are certain things guys can do that can really limit Ilya's offense. And I just think that, I think Charles is definitely capable. The problem is, though, is just like, if Charles ends up dropping his hands like he was doing against Michael Chandler in the 5th round, that's where it gets really, really, really scary. Oh, Gaming Legends 6260, thank you for the $10. I really appreciate it. Who you got in John Jones versus Tom Aspinall? TBH, I think Tom will get the KO round 1, and I'm putting $500 for Tom to win by KO. I think Jones, even in his prime, would lose to Tom Aspinall. Look, dude, I think that it is literally, physically, theoretically, I think it's completely impossible to be definitive about Tom Aspinall, pretty much about anything, because we've literally never seen Tom Aspinall make it a minute into round 2 before. There, is so much unknown about him, other than the fact that he's lightning fast, really good boxer, really light on his feet, really good takedowns and submissions, and he seems very well-rounded. I think that you can definitely devise a very good game plan for John Jones to win, and I think he has to essentially do what he did in the second Alexander Gustafsson fight, which is just maintain range, spam kicks to the body, and time Aspinall's entries with takedowns every single time. Every time Tom tries to enter into range, just duck right underneath it, try to hit the double leg. Even if you don't finish the double leg, just clinch up and land knees, elbows in the clinch. But I think the problem for John's going to be that Tom Aspinall is going to outweigh him by 25 pounds. John is just not a real heavyweight. When John took 3 years off to bulk up to heavyweight, he was fat and slow at 247. I think Tom, at his slimmest, is a very fast, natural 250 at his slimmest. I think he weighs in between 250, 260. But when you're that big, an extra 5-10 pounds either way is not that significant. But I think that, it's going to be, I think John is just at every single physical disadvantage. I think that, if he's going to go into that fight weighing 235, it is really going to affect his chin. Obviously, there's a simple math equation, right? The more size and strength you give up, what's a good way to put this? I think that, the bigger and stronger you are, the cleaner your opponent has to land on you to hurt you. You know what I mean? The more you decrease size and decrease strength, the less clean your opponent needs to land to hurt you. That's just how it works. There's a reason why Marvin Vettori's chin is so ungodly. Him and Dricus du Plessis' chins are so ungodly strong because these guys are just fucking refrigerators. You know what I mean? So I think that obviously, I think stylistically, I think you can make an argument for John to win, but I think he's at every single physical disadvantage. I think we just literally don't know what'll happen if John just survives and we start getting into rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5. We just literally don't know. I think that, John obviously has really shocking boxing defense at times. Man, when he fought Stipe and he literally went, as Stipe tried to throw a punch, I'm that's literally Israel Adesanya levels of boxing defense right there. But was that because, he just wasn't worried about Stipe because Stipe was literally a fucking toolbox in that fight? I don't know. I think that if Stipe was a lot more dangerous with the hands, I think John might have been a little bit more careful than he was. I don't know. I don't know. But I would probably, I'd probably lean towards a Tom Aspinall to win that fight myself, to be fair. Yeah, maybe. That is true, man. That is true. John Jones never threw a spinning back kick until he KO'd Stipe. Isn't that fucking crazy? Jones could try to use oblique kicks to make Tom's knee explode again. He can do that. He can also definitely get away with a couple of eye pokes. You can definitely have 2 solid eye pokes before they take a point away. He can use that to his advantage. How well does Belal do against JDM if he tries to strike like he says he will? He actually looked okay on the pads in today's embedded. Yeah, definitely. I mean, no. Belal is not a bad boxer. He doesn't have a tremendous amount of power, but he's not a bad boxer at all. I think it more or less just comes down to, again, it really all comes down to the pressure battle. Because Belal and JDM both want to pressure their opponents. They both want to put their opponents on the back foot. And it is just legitimately, that's it. It's who's going to win that battle. It's who's going to win the striking battle. I think JDM will win, but you never know. I mean, dude, I don't know. I think it's possible that JDM lands a shot on Belal. Belal doesn't back up, and Belal just stays in his face, and JDM doesn't really have a choice other than to be on the back foot. And if that's the case, then Belal's kicking game is going to open up. I mean, Belal does have really good kicks, and that's a problem against such a boxing-heavy opponent, just to fucking spam their forearms with kicks the whole time. But again, if he does put Belal on the back foot, then Belal's kicking game is gone. His boxing offense isn't going to be there the same way. It literally 100% comes down to who is going to win the pressure battle, Oh, do you, John Wings? All right. I mean, don't really know what to say. You definitely left a good argument. I don't know how to rebuttal that, though. Other than just, fucking watch the fights where Belal couldn't pressure. You know what I mean? Like the Vicente Luque fight. Now, again, on the back foot, I think Belal is defensively very good still. I think he moves very well. I think he's very hard to hit clean. It's not like if JDM's able to pressure, then all of a sudden it's a complete wash. Of course not. Like, Belal has very good distance management, and I think that's a very underrated aspect of his game. But it doesn't, again, I think his offense specifically gets limited when that's the case, Belal. Prates was on the front foot the whole time. He didn't do shit against Ian. Okay. Thanks, I guess. What does the fuck does that have to do with what is that? It has literally nothing to do with what we're talking about. Belal's not going to try to pressure. He'll body kick JDM at range on his bike and shoot when JDM steps into boxing range. Yeah, Big 8. I think that theoretically could be a very good approach for Belal. I mean, it depends, though. Because the problem with that, I think, theoretically, is that Belal is not taller or longer than JDM. So, by saying that he's just going to shoot when JDM steps into boxing range, the problem is, though, it's not, again, that works very well when you have the range already. But I don't know if he does. I think they're about the same height and the same reach, right? I think. And I know they're the same height. I don't know exactly what their reaches are. But, I think just, striking range is striking range for both of them, Yeah, I do. That's my one thing about this matchup for JDM is just it's the high guard. The high guard is not good when dealing with a heavy takedown threat. It's just not. I'd much prefer sort of the old school. I mean, it's so crazy that this is considered old school now. But the Conor McGregor, the Eddie Alvarez Conor McGregor approach of this lead hand out measuring the distance, backhand down, you know what I mean? Just being able to see the takedowns coming. But that just works so much better when, again, you have the range on your opponent. If you have the height and the reach against your opponent, it's just so easy to maintain the space, see the takedowns coming. But when you're walking forward like this, it's dude, it's going to be so fucking hard to stop the takedowns. You have to get your arms in between you and your opponent. But yeah, 100% Daniel Ross. I think for JDM to win, a huge thing is just not allowing Belal's kicking game. I really, really think. Bro has YouTube Premium. I do have YouTube Premium. Thank you for asking. I do have YouTube Premium. Jesus Christ, Lagger, can we stop the secret code, bro? These fucking Georgians are taking over every aspect of my channel. Ilya doesn't use a high guard the same way Pyotr or or JDM does. Ilya will keep his backhand up, but his lead hand more down. You know what I mean? And when you watch the Bryce Mitchell fight, it was that lead hand being down allowed him to down block on the shots. Whenever Bryce shot, Ilya, again, his stance is low, like you said, which helps a lot, but then he would duck this hand in between him and Bryce, and it just shut the takedown down so early, you know? Shay, wouldn't JDM work really well in this matchup with a Topuria-like guard, not super dissimilar from his own guard, so he can adapt to it easily, mainly just drop the front hand and keep it low? Yeah, theoretically lazy-ass profit for sure. And that is the one hard part about like breaking down fights, is just like not knowing what the guys are game planning for. You know what I mean? Like I have no idea what JDM and his team, like I would be pretty certain to say that JDM and his team are very well aware that when he fought Gilbert Burns kept getting to his hips, that Belal Muhammad has really, really good double legs, really clean shots. They know this. I don't know what they're doing to prepare for it. I wish. Like, it would be great to be a fly on the wall just, like, listening to them game plan. Like, dude, if I could just hear Belal's team game plan and JDM's team game plan, oh, my God. I think I would have, like, a 99.9999999% prediction rate. But it's just not knowing what they're going to do is the hard... that's the hard part. Like, I don't know. The only thing you can do is judge them based on how they've fought in the past. Oh, Ogre Online, thank you for the $5. What's your good timeline win for this fight, LOL? Everyone's saying Belal has to win. If Jack wins, that's the bad timeline. That's what dude, I completely disagree. Jesus Christ, everybody. What the fuck? What is all of this? You guys are speaking in fucking code. Look, Ogre Online, I would rather see Islam go to 170. That's what I want to see. I just got to be honest. I want to see Islam go to 170. I would rather that than him fight Ilya at 55, to be honest with you. I think that Ilya is a bit of a, what's the way to put it? Like, you know how Michael Chandler is like really small for 55 these days? I mean, I think Ilya is shorter, not nearly as long as even Michael Chandler. You know what I mean? It's just like, man, he's a bit of a stubby guy for this weight class. And that's not to say he can't have success. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, I feel like I have a good idea of how Ilya Islam goes, which is essentially Ilya's the same height. Well, Michael Chandler is listed at 5'8". I don't know if he's exactly 5'8". He's listed at 5'8". Ilya's listed at 5'7", but I don't know. Look, Volk is very honest about the fact that he is 5'5" 3/4. I don't know I think Ilya's maybe an inch taller than Volk. When they faced off, he's about an inch. I think Ilya's about 5'6" and a half, 5'6" 3/4, if I had to guess. I don't think Chandler's 5'6" and a half, John, 488. I do not think Chandler's that short. When Chandler faced off with Conor, he was just a little shorter than Conor. When Chandler faced off with Eddie Alvarez, they were about the same height. Eddie Alvarez is listed at 5'8". I don't know. The height thing, I feel like there's no definitive answer with the height. We can go on and on about the height fucking all day long, I mean, I don't know, John, 4888. I don't know. I will say, when I met Conor McGregor, I was so shocked how tiny he was. I was really surprised. When Conor came walking out of the gym, he walked up to me, gave me a fist bump, and I was like, you are small. You are a very little guy. I was so surprised by that. I still have not washed this hand since he fist bumped me. Chandler's 5'4" and a half. Yeah, maybe, man. Maybe. But, well, as I was saying, I think that Islam has a tendency to sometimes back up to the fence. And if he does that with Ilya, pressuring, I think he can easily get knocked out. But apart from that, I just think it's going to be Islam on his bike, moving, circling, teeping, clinching, and shooting on Ilya. And it's just like, is Ilya going to find that one opportunity to get him backed up to the fence to knock him out? Or are we just going to see, Islam stay ultra super safe the whole time? And it's like, fuck it, I'd rather just see him go up to 170. Like, I think, like, JDM is about the same size as Islam. I would love to see that fight. But lazy-ass Prophet, when you say the way that Ilya manages distance, like, what do you mean? Like, you mean when he's swinging for the fucking fences and, like, missing really badly against Max Holloway, then getting countered? And it's like, again, right, Ilya doesn't care about winning a decision. He just cares about landing that one shot. So he does leave himself open for counters, and he doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like, again, like, right, Volk was landing a lot on Ilya, and Ilya was honest. He's like, I didn't care. Remember the moment in the fight where Volk landed the right hand, and then Volk was like, I gotcha. And then Ilya was like, you wait for my turn to land. Wait for my turn to land. And then he eventually knocked him out, obviously, right? But, like, what do you mean, the way he manages distance? Like, dude, Ilya, essentially, it's overhand hook, and he'll miss really badly, and then Max will step in and counter, and then it just comes down to whether or not he can land that one shot, you know? How does Ilya Oliveira go then? Well, it essentially I think it just comes down to whether or not Oliveira, like, literally cannot take a back step. If Oliveira at all gets backed up, I think he's fucked. I think he's completely fucked. I think that he just has to be pushing Ilya back the whole time. I think he needs to be very kicking heavy. I think he needs to keep both of his hands to his eyebrows the whole fucking time. I think that calf kicks, teeps, and I wouldn't even throw any punches if I'm Oliveira. But I don't know. I haven't really sat down and thought about the fight super, super hard, other than just, kind of the basic weaknesses of either of them. Yeah, but Ilya is certainly capable of putting a boxing clinic on you. Remember the Josh Emmett fight? That he certainly is. Yes, thank you. I didn't realize. Yeah, that's right, huh? Yeah, Ilya boxing. Yeah, I forgot that he does that, doesn't he? Acknowledge Kenny. I don't see Kenny. I don't see Kenneth. I'm scrolled way the fuck up in chat. I don't see it. Exactly, Andy Luna. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. But that's just like a fact. And, I understand, though. Most people probably don't even realize that, but that's just a fact, Oh, Gaming Legend 6260. Thank you for the $10. I got Ilya winning against every lightweight besides Arman and Islam. I think Islam would submit him, and I got Arman winning by decision. I also think Arman has the best wrestling in the lightweight division. I think you know what, dude? Honestly, I think Gamrot. I think Gamrot has better wrestling. But obviously, I think Arman it's close, but I think, like, straight up wrestling for wrestling, I think Gamrot's a little better. But I think Arman, in terms of, like, the tip top of the division, like, it's close for sure. I think, I agree. I think Arman probably has the best wrestling, the best shots out in the open. I think the scary thing about that, though, is just the fact that Arman kind of has a propensity to sometimes not set up his strikes super well. Like, you remember the fucking, when he fought fucking Silva or whatever his name was, and he just, like, walked into range with a shitty 1-2 that wasn't set up, then just got cleaned with that fucking hook. It was impressive how Arman fucking zombie wrestled at that point to take Silva down. But I don't think Arman specifically does a very good job setting up his strikes. Again, like, for how good Arman can kick, I wish he set it up better. Like, his kicking dexterity is insane. the fucking axe kicks and the high kicks. Like his flexibility and dexterity is through the roof, but he doesn't set up the kicks well. Like, man, if he just had an ability to feint a little with the hands, change his level, come up with the high kick, he could be such a problem, especially if he was just spamming kicks to the body, slowly starts sneaking it upstairs. He just doesn't really do that. He just kind of just chooses random moments to throw his kicks. Again, like I don't talk about it super frequently, but when I was a child, I was what you can refer to as a taekwondo prodigy. Like I know a thing or two about kicking, and I think that Armin has very good kicks, but he doesn't set it up well. I mean, yeah, Justin Vargas, but two things. One, Josh Emmett first of all, like Josh Emmett essentially did to Ilya what Eddie Alvarez did to Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? Like he was just like for Josh Emmett elected to have a boxing match with Ilya, which is already a really bad idea. Second of all, the only thing Emmett was doing was winging overhands. And it was just like the easiest thing in the world for Ilya, like shoulder roll, counter, shoulder roll, counter. And dude, he landed some heavy fucking shots on Josh Emmett. Like there was a 10-7 round at one point. You know what I mean? Like there were knockout shots. There were absolute knockout shots there, you know? But yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Armin kind of has the Paddy Pimblett thing going on with it, you know, with his kicks. I'm like, damn, you kick like a motherfucker, but why is there no setup? Like, why can't you, like, actually use your kicks and sneak it in? Like for example, Islam does not have the kicking dexterity that Armin does at all. But Islam can set it up so much better. Like, so much better. You know? Way fucking better. Like, it's just the fact that, like, Armin won't even go to the body with his kicks like he should. You know what I mean? Like, with how fast you can throw them, like, make me worry about them. You know what I mean? Leg kicks, body kicks, get me really worried and then sneak it upstairs. But he just doesn't do that. Ilya's power is massively overrated. He couldn't sleep Max Holloway. Yeah, because, I mean, yeah, 100%. 100% R6, G7. I mean, dude, yeah, if you can't sleep Max Holloway, like, what the fuck? Like, dude, anybody can sleep Max Holloway. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that he couldn't sleep Max Holloway, to me, 100% proved that he doesn't have any power. I completely agree with you. That's a great point. One of the smartest points I've ever seen about Ilya Topuria. Yeah, not a lot of power with the guy, huh? I think you're kidding. All right, well, I hope you guys don't mind. I'm just going to real quickly, I want to watch some Kyle Propelic real quick because I just want to gauge whether or not Benoit Saint-Denis is worth it at a minus 1,500. I haven't seen anything of Kyle Propelic yet, but I just know that he's fighting Benoit.
Both guys come out in the southpaw.
This was his last fight. It was 9 months ago.
Early on.
I feel like I'll be able to tell very clearly if he has any shot of beating Benoit Saint-Denis.
Oh, good kick to the body there from Prepelec. Oh, again, just glancing with that left hand, Prepelec was. Everything Prepelec throws is with bad intentions. This guy loves to strike. He says his ground game's better than people give him credit for because he just loves to strike. Well, he does it so well. And that was a nice calf kick he landed there. Careful there when they disengage at the end of the combos with his hands down. His head kicks are getting close. Oh, and there's one that's blocked, but that one may have hurt Wurlitzer. Oh, there's a nice liver shot.
Okay, all right. Kyle Propelic is fucked. I think Kyle Propelic is honestly fucked. I think if you're gonna beat Benoit Saint-Denis, I think there's two things you need. For one, it's just like any sort of boxing efficiency at all. Like, if you can box in the slightest, Benoit Saint-Denis is in trouble. Kyle Propelic doesn't got it. Kyle Propelic doesn't have it. Quickly, what is his stance? Is he...
Oh, wanted that high kick there.
Does he switch?
Blocked that time by...
Ooh, he is a southpaw, though. I think. Right? Him being a southpaw does make it a little sketchier for Benoit, though, just slightly, because, I mean, but Benoit's entire offensive striking game comes from the fact that he has such a strong back kick. Like, it gets guys so worried about it. But unfortunately, Propellic being a southpaw doesn't give him the body kick. But, yeah, I still don't think Propellic has a chance. I mean, I was about to say, dude, if Propellic shows me, like, any sort of boxing at all, like, damn, he might, minus 1,500 honestly, I might like those odds. But, yeah, Propellic's pretty fucked. I think Propellic is pretty fucked, to be honest with you. All right, well, there we go. Belal TKO's Della in round 5. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, man, dude, and that's such a shame, too, because Benoit versus Joel Alvarez was so sick. Shay, can we say that Patty is BSD with Aura now? Honestly, I think Patty Pimblett is a little bit more technical than Benoit Saint-Denis. I think Patty's a little bit more technical. I think that Patty, you know what? No, I do think Patty's more technical. I think that Patty's like actual jiu-jitsu and grappling on the ground is levels ahead of Benoit. I think Benoit just truly is a strong, powerful marauder with decent judo and decent Like, he's got decent grappling. He's not bad, but Benoit relies on toughness. He relies on marching you down, spamming his left back kick, and just, again, he's got decent judo, decent body triangle. He'll, but like when Benoit Saint-Denis like grabs anything to try to transition to the ground, like he's grabbing Kimuras, you know what I mean? It's not like he's not doing a slick like duck under, get to the body lock, knee tap, take you down, slide the hooks in. He's just like, he's like a strong man. You know what I mean? It's fucking Kimuras and it's fucking double legs against the fence and it's walking you down. Yeah, so I mean like, dude, the fact that like it was just like Moicano was so much more technical in every sense of the word. But he's not girthy enough for Kimuras. Oh, dude, Benoit Saint-Denis is a really big guy. I think he's very girthy. I think he's very, very girthy. The only thing about Joel Alvarez, I admittedly haven't. It's been a long time since I've watched Joel Alvarez, and I would have done the film study if he was fighting Benoit. But from my recollection, Joel Alvarez kind of gives up double legs very easily. He gives up double legs and is kind of willing to fight off of his back, which was like a massive problem against Armin. When he went to his back willingly against Armin, that fight was a fucking bloodbath. Like, that fight was gross. The sheer amount of blood spewing out of Joel Alvarez's face was insane. BSD versus Patty for the title in 2028. Dude, they should give Benoit Patty. That would be a really interesting fight. That'd be a really, really, really interesting fight. That'd be sick. Armin isn't Benoit, though. Thanks. Thank you for that, Andy Luna. I'm really glad you prefaced. Thank you. Yep, you made a point right there for sure. You made a point, definitely. Chat's been correcting me a lot today on things that I never said. It's one thing I've noticed today. Are you guys ready for this fucking parlay? You guys ready for this parlay, boys? Putting the house on JDM, new sub here. Okay, look, I think that we'll get into it with the parlay. We'll talk about it, but I think that I think if there is ever any bet between these two individuals that is safe, I think you gotta go over on rounds for this one. I mean, come on, man. I mean, maybe JDM knocks Belal out is the only way I could think of this fight not going later into the rounds, but like, I fucking doubt it, Oh, Weber Carson, thank you for the $5. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Franco Perry I am now not going to shut up for the next 10 minutes. You can all blame him for that. What do you think about people constantly complaining among the quality of cards, Guru and Lucas? 312 was shit, but do they expect 300 every time? Yeah. I mean, look, man. Look. This card's bad, dude. This card's not good. This card's pretty poor. This card is very poor. I mean, let's look at the main event. You know what I mean? Like, look, you have Belal Muhammad JDM, a fight that is just not fucking. I mean, I'm sorry, bro, but it's not. It's just like, look, to a hardcore, hardcore fans, like I'm excited about this fight personally. I'm very excited about it, and again, I think that stylistically it's interesting. I think there's a lot of different ways this fight can go depending on the game plan of each person and who can win these very specific battles that we talked about in my breakdown video and whatnot. But like, to the average fan, I don't think they even know who JDM really is. You know what I mean? Belal Muhammad, the fucking commissioner at the weigh-ins, didn't even know who Belal was. So this is already a really shitty title fight already. But that can be saved with a really solid co-main, right? That could be saved with a really solid co-main. They give us Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot. Man. Oh, like, dude. There's never been a woman champion less hyped than Valentina Shevchenko. Let's just be honest here. There is no, I mean, I'm sorry, Valentina. Valentina is so fucking good. She's so fucking fast and technical. I'm sorry, but nobody cares about her. I'm sorry. Terrible. Like, this is a horrible main and co-main. But maybe with a really, really strong featured bout, we can turn this around. We have Jose Aldo, who's 39 years old, versus the number 15 ranked Ayman Zahabi. Man, this is getting worse. Like, this is bad, dude. This is terrible. Like, no, we're not expecting UFC 300, but like, give us one interesting fight here that like it's like a fan fit. You know what I mean? It's terrible. And then it's like Alexa Grasso on top. You know what though? Again, like I will say though, I am riding very high on Natalia Silva. She is so fucking sick. She is so good. Like, I'm legitimately really riding high on her. Like, for once, I'm really hyped about a female prospect. Just because she's fucking, like, super good. Just because she's really fucking good. But, anyway, there's my point. So, anyway, let's talk about this parlay. Starting off here, we got Brad Katona versus Bekzat Almakhan. I think, dude, this is just one of those fights that it's really, really difficult to break down, and I think the odds specifically show why that is. You've got, like, honestly, dude, the best way that I can sum up this fight right here is just, like, two really, really solid fighters. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, I think Bekzat Almakhan, obviously, he's known for rocking Umar with that giant overhand. But apart from that, he just got grapple fucked the whole time. He's not a very big 35er, or at least he wasn't at the time. I think Brad Katona, again, like, Brad doesn't have any glaring weakness in his game at all. I just learned my new computer is touchscreen. That interesting to know. He doesn't really have any holes in his game, but he's also not, if he was just a little quicker and a little bit more fast twitch, I think he could legitimately be elite. But, like, he's strong, solid grappler, solid striker, but he's not really quick. He's not super fast. Dude, it's just like, this fight's like, it's such a gimme, you know what I mean? It's such a coin flip here. You just got two guys that are just very, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not putting this one on the parlay at all. You know what I mean? Oh, YPSN MMA. Thank you for the $2.80. MMA Guru told DJ about you, twin. I know. Isn't that crazy? I heard about that. Isn't that really cool? I'm greatly appreciated. Daniel Santos versus Jiang Yong Lee. For those who know, my buddy Blake Builder, who me and him trained together for a very long time. Blake Builder got cut from the UFC after he lost to Jiang Yong Lee, which kind of hurt my feelings a little bit, which was rough. This is just another one, though, man. It's just such a fucking gimme fight. Like, you got two guys who there are no, like, glaring holes in either of them. You know, Zhang Yong Lee's very tall and lanky for the weight class. I don't know, man. I won't waste your guys' time on this one. I don't know. I'm not fucking with this one either. Mark Andre Barriault versus Bruno Silva. Again, these early prelim fights, you just got like two guys who like neither of them have any glaring advantage or disadvantage over either of them. I don't know. You know what I mean? Bruno Silva, I still feel so bad for him over the fucking Chris Weidman fight. Again, I don't know. These fights to me are fucking coin flips. You know what I mean? Exactly. I think Tony Has Died has summed it up very, very well. So fuck it. You know what I mean? Navajo Sterling versus Ivan Ursulin. Navajo Sterling is going to fucking destroy him probably. But at a minus 340 odds, I'm good. Modestas Bukauskas versus Ion Kutabala. Now, as you guys know, if you're members of the Discord, Nigu, who is somebody who is a sports bettor that I've taken under my wing, and I'm trying to develop him into a professional gambler. He's riding very high on Ion Cutelaba as an underdog. Again, I don't give a fuck, though, and we're moving on. We're not talking about this fight either. Mike Mallet versus Charles Radke. Look, I would say I'm putting, isn't he 12? Okay, let's, we don't have to, we can move on from that statement. Look, I'd put Mike Mallet on the parlay over Charles Radke. I'll be honest, Charles Radke, his loss against, fucking Matthew Schmellyberger or whatever his name is, was not great. However, if you're going to lose a fight to Neil Magny, you're not going on my fucking parlay. You know what I mean? Like, we have standards around here. All right? For you to make it on my parlay, you know what I mean? Shea is a casual confirmed. Like I said earlier, for a lot of these early fights, I didn't do a ton of research on this. I pretty much researched, skip the fight unsub. Sorry. I don't know. Regardless, though, if you're going to lose to Neil Magny, I'm not fucking with you, all right? That's pretty much where I'm at. Okay, thank you for the $5. Canada deserves shite cards. They are so desperate to buy tickets for once-a-year UFC cards to sell it every time. Well, dude, as far as I know, isn't UFC 315, like, not sold out in the slightest? Right, that's what I heard. Like, they're having a really hard time selling out the stadium, is what I heard. For Lagler, I have no idea the age of Ngu. He's never told me, and I don't know, and I would need to see some identification to be sure of it. Nah, man, that ain't true. You put Ortega on the parlay. That's true. I don't have an excuse for that, other than the fact that I didn't want to make. At the time, I didn't want to make parlays anymore, man. I didn't want to make parlays anymore. But anyway, Benoit Saint-Denis versus Kyle Propolic. All right, now let's actually start getting into this scientifically. Benoit Saint-Denis, it still looks like he has that giant fucking staff mark on his forehead. I think Benoit Saint-Denis, there's essentially two things maybe that Benoit Saint-Denis does really good. He has a really, really, really good kick off of his back leg, just fucking spams it to your midsection. Whenever he's fighting an orthodox fighter, it is legitimately a very dangerous thing to go up against, and he makes guys fear that kick off of his back leg. But every single fight you will ever watch from Benoit Saint-Denis, he essentially tries to march you down, get you backed up to the fence, then he just fucking starts unloading on you. But his boxing defense is atrocious. Like, Benoit Saint-Denis just plain and simply, completely and utterly lacks fundamentals. When Bedtime said years ago at this point to Lucas Tracy when they were arguing about Benoit versus Dustin Poirier, and Patty said that Benoit is just Patty Pimblett with aura. That was such a fucking good call. That was such a fucking good call in hindsight. Like, he nailed it right on the head with that one. Like, dude, honestly, I think Patty Pimblett is shown to be more technical than Benoit Saint-Denis almost everywhere. Almost everywhere. Oh, YPSN MMA, thank you for the $7. Thank you. Can we have a 5-minute Vegeta no-fat motivation break before the main card picks? You know what? For $7, we can absolutely do that for sure. But so to me, right, the only thing I cared about when looking at Kyle Propelic, I was like, can Kyle Propelic box? Two things. One, is he a southpaw or is he an orthodox, and can he box? Now, he's a southpaw, which completely limits Benoit's kick off the back leg. When you're a southpaw fighting an orthodox, obviously that back kick to the leg just go into the midsection every single time. And Benoit will spam it to the body, and as soon as you start getting those arms down, he sneaks it upstairs. It's a problem. But because Kyle's a southpaw, it's not going to be there. However, Kyle just can't. Kyle does not have the boxing that you need to beat Benoit Saint-Denis. Again, you go back and look at Benoit's fight against fucking what's his name? Thiago Moises. Dude, Thiago Moises was landing clean counters as Benoit was trying to pressure him to the fence. If you can box at all, you can tag Benoit Saint-Denis. And again, if you're Dustin Poirier, you can probably knock him out. Or if you have any sort of proficient boxing. That's not Kyle Propelic. That is not Kyle Propelic. Kyle Propelic is a sacrificial lamb. He's going to get decimated. And to the point, though, I was trying to play around with the odds. There is no way to make money picking Benoit Saint-Denis to win this fight. I added him to my parlay just to see, and I think he got me an extra $5. And I was like, all right, there's just no point in putting him on here. Okay, first of all, that big panda, she legitimately, she was not a MILF, just being honest. Under 2.5. I mean, look, maybe, but dude, I've been fucked. I've been fucked when betting on props, MMA news. So I don't know. I guess you can do that if you want, but I'm gonna just stay away from this one. Anyway, Alexa Grasso versus Natalia Silva. So yeah, as I referenced earlier, as you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of women's MMA, and it has nothing to do with women being women. It just has to do with, I feel like most women fighters aren't that good. The division's not that deep. It's just not great, right? But I very specifically, knowing that Alexa Grasso is a big name, I looked into Natalia Silva. And, oh, Jack, thank you for the 2 pounds, Jack. Thank you. Oh, my God, Keegan, thank you for the $8, dude. I really appreciate it. Well, $8, get a 5-minute Vegeta no-fap motivation break before the main card picks. Yes, we'll do it. Yes, Keegan. For $8, we can do it. We can absolutely do it. Okay, thank you for the $2. Or make a small amount single bet on Kyle. Okay, yeah, you can do that too. But, dude, Natalia Silva, like I said, is so fucking good, dude. If you have not watched Natalia Silva fight yet, you're missing out. I was stunned by how good she is. She's so fucking fast. Her combinations are so clean, so technical. She's so well-rounded. Dude, she is fucking badass. And I am officially a fan of Natalia Silva. Her striking is so good. Her striking is so good. And this is what I've been waiting for. We just need more women who are elite at fighting and actually have really good, really interesting matchups. And this is step one. Dude, she's good. Renato Limbaugh, it is crazy glaze, but I'm telling you, she's very good. I think for Alexa Grasso to win this fight, she's going to have to be takedown heavy. I really don't believe Alexa Grasso can strike with Natalia Silva. I don't think she can. Alexa Grasso can crack, though. She's not a bad boxer at all. But the way Natalia Silva can mix it up, she's so fucking good. I think Grasso needs to try to hunt for the takedown. That's probably the one area she can potentially win this fight. But I think Natalia Silva has actually shown very decent takedown defense. She's had a couple of really good submissions in the UFC as well. Natalia's just very well-rounded. So, yeah, Natalia Silva at a -278, yeah, she will definitely go on the parlay. Oh, wait, this is the main card. Okay, all right.
Stop. Don't even think about it. I know exactly what you're about to do. You want to beat one out right now, but not this time. You will not give in today. That urge crawling through your mind, it's lying to you. It wants you to throw away your energy, your focus, your future. For what? A few worthless seconds? That's not who you are, not anymore.
You guys think the classic DBZ Bruce Falcon music is gonna copyright this entire stream? That's what I'm kind of worried about. Let me just turn this down, I guess.
Prince Vegeta, am here to remind you of the truth. You were born to dominate, not be dominated. This is your fight. And the moment you conquer your urges, you unlock a power most men never tap into. You think this is just about surviving no nut November?
It's not about the screen, it's about the music.
Learning yourself, not for 1 month, but for the rest of your life. From this day forward, whenever you feel the urge to beat your meat, just watch this video.
See, I gotta be completely honest with you though, man. Like, I valiantly disagree with this whole nofap. I honestly valiantly disagree with it. Like, I just gotta be honest. New Islam tweet? Let me see. Hold on. Hold on. Where? Oh, okay. This Saturday's main event will define what my next move is. With regards to the outcome of the fight, I'm not going to vacate my lightweight tender. I'm not going to vacate my lightweight title. We might get real contender there. Wait, so then, okay. So he wants to be champ. He wants to be double champ. Okay, but then, so let's say Belal loses, he moves up, then there's gonna be, well, Ariel Helwani said that Ilya will fight for the title, whether it's vacant or not. Okay, I'm so confused then. So they'd have to do an interim title then, right? They'd have to. Whoa! Gaming Legend 6260, $20. Jesus Christ. Jesus, thank you. Who you got between Charles versus Patty? Honestly, how Patty beat Chandler surprised the fuck out of me. I think Patty wins. Also, GOAT DBZ. What also was your favorite win and your saddest you have been for a loss, recorded or not? Well, dude, thank you for the $20. Thank you for the question. You know, I'll be honest with you, man. I was not surprised by Patty beating Michael Chandler. I mean, Michael Chandler sucks. Michael Chandler's really bad. He's not very good. Like, he doesn't have any timing, doesn't have any setups, just kind of wings bombs at you. Like, like my entire video was essentially saying that if Patty were to get knocked out by Michael Chandler, that is probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. And that Patty should handedly win the fight, and he did, just because, again, right, like, it's not hard. Just, I mean, that's what Patty did. He just sat there and waited for Michael Chandler. Like, dude, Patty was against the fence going like this. And Chandler was just like, what, I don't, spam overhands, and just running into fucking uppercuts. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, like, dude, it was poor. It was really, really poor. I think that Oliveira is such a more dangerous boxer than Paddy Pimblett. Like, Oliveira can fucking crack. You know what I mean? Justin Gaethje said his tongue went numb when Oliveira landed on him. You know what I mean? I think that on the ground, you know, I think it's interesting. I think even if they're completely equal on the ground, I think, you know, obviously Paddy's maybe a little bit bigger, but I think that, you know, I don't think he's much taller or longer at all. I think that Oliveira's a way, way more dangerous technical boxer. Charles is chinless. Paddy will rock him and follow him to the ground. Man, you know, it's crazy that people are riding so high on Paddy Pimblett's boxing ability these days, which is so funny. Oliveira's chinny, chin. I mean, I guess if Paddy Pimblett does end up fucking slipping a right hand, going uppercut, hook, overhand, you know, maybe that'll happen. But, like, damn, what world are we living in, boys? Like, you guys really think that? You guys think he's gonna fucking Paddy's gonna go out there and just fucking crack Oliveira with an overhand? Like, I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. Obviously, Oliveira has shown many, many times in the past to be very reckless, to go at you really hard. Against Michael Chandler the last time, he absolutely dropped his hands in the 5th round, which allowed him to get hit. So, I think it's theoretically possible, but I think that overall, I still think that Oliveira is way, way more technical on the feet, way more technical. Again, Michael Chandler, I think you got to understand how bad he is on the ground. I think that, look, if Michael Chandler is on top of you in closed guard, that's one thing, because he's a jacked hamster who's super explosive. But, dude, when Michael Chandler was getting in on takedowns against Paddy Pimblett. Michael Chandler was shooting on Paddy, taking him down, getting Paddy to turtle, and then fucking Chandler tried to take Paddy's back and slid off the top. It was embarrassing. It was dog shit. I know white belts who have better back-taking ability than Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler just isn't technical at all, apart from overhands and pure wrestling. I think that Oliveira should be hunting the takedown against Paddy. I think Oliveira should be the one looking to take down Paddy Pimblett. I think if Michael Chandler can do it, I think Oliveira can as well. I think on the feet, I think it's going to be Paddy's kicking game. It's going to be the interesting thing. But I think, the boxing goes to Oliveira. I mean, you just take it. Where are the advantages here? On the ground, we'll say they're equal. I think Oliveira is a way better wrestler. I think he's proven that. I think he's way more dangerous with his hands. I guess Paddy might have better kicks. Paddy might be a little bit bigger, but I think overall, I think Oliveira is a lot more technical. That's what I would say. That's what I would say, at least. What was your other question? The saddest fight I've ever had was when Gaethje brutalized Tony Ferguson. When Gaethje brutalized Tony Ferguson, I was probably the worst I've ever felt. That was really bad. I was really sad. People think Paddy is a world beater now, that he's beat a guy that's decorated. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, right? Going into Paddy versus Chandler, to me, it was very simple. It was Chandler sucks. Paddy should win very handedly. Paddy wins very handily. I'm expected. But the rest of the MMA community is oh my God, Paddy's a fucking monster. I'm oh, all right. I just thought that Chandler sucked. That's what I thought. But, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, again, it's interesting. And I think Paddy theoretically could still improve. Nothing drastic. But I think Paddy can continue getting a little bit better, improve certain things. How old is he? 28? He's 28 or is he 29? I think something like that. So I think he can still improve and theoretically get better. But I think as we stand right now, I was genuinely depressed when Islam destroyed Oliveira. Dude, believe it or not, I wasn't even, that was another one where I was I wasn't that surprised by it. I mean, I thought Oliveira was going to do a lot better on the feet than he did against Islam, but then in hindsight, it's Islam's just that good on the feet. Oh, he's 30. He's 30 or 31? He's going to be 30 this year. Yeah, well, he's pretty much. I mean, for me, though, with Paddy, it was just distance management and, not rushing at guys blindly winging overhands. You know what I mean? Is kind of where I was at. But the thing is, right, theoretically, I think that Paddy, oh, thank you for the $2, Shay's New York girl. I love you. I love you, too. I love you, too. I miss you. New York woman. But yeah, I mean, theoretically, let's say, Paddy fights Oliveira in, 2 years. You know what I mean? By that point, Oliveira will be 37. Paddy will be in his prime at 32. I mean, I think that theoretically is a very winnable fight for him, maybe, depending on how Oliveira, ages. But as of right now, I just genuinely think that him beating Michael Chandler is not enough for me to say that he was going to destroy him. I don't know. Anyway, back to what we were doing before you guys fucking sidetracked me. Anyway, yeah, Natalia Silva is really good, and I think she's going to beat Grasso. Jose Aldo versus Ayman Zahabi. I am definitely not the first person to make this joke. But, man, he looks like Ariel Helwani. I know, I imagine everybody has said that prior to me, but, Jesus, he looks like Ariel Helwani. Anyway, Ayman Zahabi, You know, man, he's a very interesting case when you look at him as a fighter because he is essentially, I guess, what you can say, an overhand merchant. But he does a very good job at winging overhands. Like, I think technically he's not bad anywhere in particular, but I think, like, specifically what makes him so dangerous is just his propensity to wing overhands at you. And he can fucking crack. Like, Ayman Zahabi is pretty legit when it comes to that specific area. Now, in terms of defending leg kicks, not really there. I forget. God, I was watching all of his fights earlier this morning. I don't remember the names of everybody, but these guys are 1 year apart. Yeah, that's the thing, dude. Ayman Zahabi is he's been around forever. I was really surprised. Like, dude, he's been around forever. Like, I was watching fights of his at UFC 217. Yeah, MMA news. I do really appreciate that. Yeah, that's huge for sure. I mean, Aldo is going to have a size advantage in this fight. Absolutely. I mean, again, Ayman Zahabi had cut all the way down to 137 before he got the call that they're going up a weight class, you know? Patty wasn't dominating until the knee because Chandler is short. Charles smokes him on the feet. Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. But yeah, I mean, he kind of wings overhands at you. It certainly is a problem for sure. But I think that Jose Aldo has never... Look, if there's any deficiency we've seen from Jose Aldo, it's that he can sometimes just simply not be active enough, like at all. But he is very disciplined defensively. Very, very disciplined. You know, he uses that really standard Muay Thai, hands up, you know, kind of like how Charles does, but I think even to a way higher level. Jose Aldo should have a lot of success with leg kicks against Zahabi if he decides to go for it. I think that, you know, I really like the money line here on Jose Aldo. I think Jose Aldo, even in his advanced age, has shown that he can absolutely keep up with the younger elite guys in the division. He just, you know, the Mario Batista fight just in my mind simply was a bad decision. I think that, you know, he just didn't show any urgency to get off the fence. The truth is, though, it wasn't like Batista was winning holding him up against the fence. Like, read the fucking judging criteria. Nowhere does it say that, if you're holding someone against the fence, you're winning. Like, that's just not true. And for Mario Batista to come out after the fact to be like, well, he should have gotten himself off of the fence. It's like, no, you guys are stalemating there. There's nobody's winning that position. It's a stalemate. You're not winning doing that. You know what I mean? You're just simply not. But how the hell did Aldo and Zahabi brutally miss weight? It's Aldo who brutally missed the weight. I mean, maybe John Wings. Admittedly, I would have to go back and watch the fight to be certain. From my recollection, I don't think either of them were really doing much. I don't know. What the point is, though, with what Zahabi does, I think it's going to be kind of difficult for him to have a lot of success over Aldo. I just don't think Zahabi's that great defensively. I mean, he's all right. But I think, again, the only thing against Aldo is that sometimes he's just not active enough. You know what I mean? But overall, I mean, I think at this money line, Aldo is a very, very good pick. Very, very good pick. I mean, look, I like Penguins 15-15. It just, like, it's simple. Like, the judging criteria is very clear about cage control time. And it's very clear about the fact that it does not count as effective grappling. You know what I mean? Nothing, right? So I don't know what else we need. You know what I mean? I don't know what else we need. I think that, though, Aldo was kind of inactive against Batista, and he didn't throw enough. Like, that's just a fact. You know what I mean? That's literally just a fact. But anyway, again, like, Zahabi, if he's going to win this fight, it's going to come from him landing a fucking overhand. That's just what he kind of does. But I think it's going to be hard to do against Aldo, and I think that Aldo is going to have a size advantage. I think Zahabi defensively, if Aldo decides to go to the leg kick, Zahabi's going to have a problem with it. I think overall, especially the body shots from Aldo, too. I mean, Aldo I love the way that when he gets on the inside and he'll be like jab, jab, rip to the body, uppercut upstairs. Like, Aldo's boxing has definitely came a long way. So, yeah, I like Jose Aldo. We'll play around with the odds. I also really wouldn't mind betting Aldo by decision or just the fight by decision, period. I think that one thing that might deter you from betting on Aldo is the age. Like, at a certain point, it gets to a point with fighters where it's like, you know, we're just waiting for the wheels to fall off. You know what I mean? We're waiting on the wheels to fall off. We don't know when it's going to happen. When is Aldo officially going to be too old to do it anymore? I don't think he's shown that in his past two fights. But, Anyway, Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot. I'm very surprised that Valentina Shevchenko is a plus 110. I'm very surprised about that. Again, Manon Fiorot is what I would describe as a big, tall glass of milk, is what I would say. She is a big, strong woman. Like she is very physically imposing in there. What she did to Erin Blanchfield, she outwomaned Erin Blanchfield, But I think Valentina Shevchenko is so much faster, so much quicker, so much more finesse with the striking, like just so much more technical and so much quicker. I think that when you go back and look at Manon's fight against Rose Namajunas, I think for the most part, to be fair, Rose showed to be a little bit more technical than Manon. The problem was, though, she was just so outsized. She was so outsized against Fiorot. She was just really couldn't hurt her with any of her strikes. Anytime Fiorot landed, it was busting Rose up because Rose just isn't a 125er, Tony has died. Thank you for the $2. Until Aldo addresses the cage issue, I can't pick him. I mean, look, Tony has died. I respect that, and I'm not upset at that at all. I'm not upset at that at all. You know what I mean? Again, I don't think maybe Alman Zahabi will go into this fight and just look to hold him against the fence the whole time. I mean, fucking maybe. I don't know. That's not typically what he does, though. That's not typically what he does. But yeah, I think the safest bet you can physically have, in my mind, is this fight going to decision. I think that's very fair. If you want to bet on Valentina by decision, there's really good odds on that. I think it's like plus, Ningu. Yeah. Thank you, Ningu. It's like plus 210 for Valentina to win by decision. I think Manon should try to look to get this fight to the ground, but I think that, Valentina is very well-rounded, so much quicker, so much faster. I like Valentina for the parlay a lot. There's so much film on Aldo, though, and it's GSP's coach. Yeah, for sure, but GSP's coach, at the end of the day, only has Ayman Zahabi's skill set to work with, But I hear what you're saying. But yeah, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter who the coach is. It matters about the talent that he's working with, Yeah, I agree, though, DM. I'm very surprised Valentina's the underdog. Obviously, Belal Muhammad, JDM, I think we've talked about in depth already. I think that, look, what does this fight exactly come down to? I don't know exactly what either of them are game planning for very particularly, but the thing that Belal Muhammad kept saying in media day, what he kept saying was that I am going to break Jack Della Maddalena. He kept saying that. He goes, I'm not going to shoot takedowns and I'm going to break him. The only thing that physically means to me is he's going to try to do what Belal does, which is try to pressure him. Get in his face, just close the space, smother him, try to land the short boxing combinations in close. He did that to Sean Brady, broke him, did that to Leon Edwards, broke him. But again, when you go back and you actually watch Belal Muhammad fight somebody who's as dangerous of a boxer as, who's a more dangerous boxer than he is, the Vicente Luque fight is the most recent example of that. And that fight was very different. Belal couldn't pressure Vicente Luque because Vicente Luque can crack and was a much better boxer. At a certain point, Vicente Luque actually really hurt Belal in the third round. Maybe not really hurt him, but he tagged him and kind of wobbled Belal a little bit twice in the third round, just because Vicente's that good of a boxer. Again, though, the thing that's underrated about Belal is that he legitimately does a really good job managing distance. He never shells up. He's constantly moving laterally. He's constantly moving. When you unload on him, Belal just does such a good job, seeing your punches coming and rolling with them and moving with them. And he does a decent job staying defensive. I think that if JDM just had a little bit more natural pop, I would feel a lot more confident like picking him to win. The problem is though is that JDM likes to land. The reason why JDM gets finishes is because of accuracy and volume. When JDM pressures you, which is what he likes to do, when he gets you up to the fence, he just starts mixing the combinations upstairs, downstairs, and guys just don't see the shots coming. They shell up and he'll either crack you on the chin or get you right to the liver, and you're just not seeing these shots coming. You're not ready for it, and it folds you. But I don't know if JDM quite has the power to put Belal out with a single shot, on the temple. It's going to have to be right on the chin. Obviously, Belal Muhammad has gone through puberty multiple times as a grown adult, you know what I mean? Or he knees you in the head for sure. I don't know if I'm willing to. I think more likely if JDM's gonna finish Belal, I'd love to see him do it with the kicks. I think JDM does have very good kicks, and again, like I said in the breakdown, if JDM does win the pressure battle, which is going to lead to Belal being on the back foot, Belal being the one shifting side to side, moving laterally, that's where the leg kicks open up. I think like a good example of this is Dominic Cruz. I think Dominic Cruz's style just got really figured out at a certain point. Because Dominic Cruz is fucking like this with his footwork, the leg kicks are just there all day. You know what I mean? If you're going to be moving that much, you're not ready to lift the leg to check or pull out. I think that when Belal fought Vicente Luque, Vicente was landing a lot of leg kicks because Belal was just on the back foot constantly moving. I think JDM needs to hammer the leg kicks, and I think he needs to try to set up a kick upstairs. I think that's probably his most likely way of really finishing this fight in one shot. I mean, hey, maybe he times a knee to the face right as Belal shoots like he did to Gilbert Burns. That's kind of hard for me to specifically count on it happening. But, YPSNMA, I think we're the $2.80. Pick a fighter for me to edit from this card, Shay. Pick a fighter for me to edit from this card, Shay. I don't know. What does that mean? What do you mean? What do you mean edit? Pick a fighter for me to edit? I don't know what that means, YPSN MMA. You're going to have to, if you can elaborate on that, I'll give you a better answer. K, thank you for that $2. Onk, I'm not going to take him down. Shoots 20 times. Dude, K, you know what though, man? You know what though? Oh, you want to make an edit. I'm going to say fucking Natalia Silva deserves edits. I think Natalia Silva deserves an edit. Yeah, we want to make a TikTok edit? Well, there you go. There you go. That's what I would say. That's what I'll tell you to do. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Dude, Ankalaev did early on say, I'm not going to take you down, I'm going to strike. But, dude, he did during that, like, build-up to the fight. He was saying to Alex that, like, I'm going to make you wrestle for 25 minutes. Like, remember when Alex put that video out of him and Glover wrestling on the fucking... wrestling in the snow, and then Onk responded to the tweet, and he was like, I hope you're ready to do this for 25 minutes. I mean, I don't know. I think it was a little bit, that was all Lee. I mean, who knows? But, I'm just saying, and he did shoot. He shot 11 times. Yeah, I got that now, YPSNMA. You make fighter edits on TikTok. Yeah, I think Natalia Silva deserves some edits, dude. I think Natalia Silva deserves some edits. But anyway, as I was saying, the hard part, though, even if JDM wins the pressure battle against Belal and does have him backed up on the back foot, the problem is that Belal can shoot such clean double legs, even completely on the back foot. And JDM's high guard will leave him open for Belal to beat him to the hips, just like Gilbert was beating him to the hips. I think that at that point, it just comes down to whether or not JDM can stand back up without giving up his back. Obviously, Craig Jones revealed that Dana White called him and was like, hey, we need you to help JDM because we need to get Belal the fuck out of here. Like, Netflix does not want to pay $1 billion for our UFC deal because Belal is currently champion. So can you please do something about this? And as you know, Craig Jones has his famous he has this famous instructional called Just Stand Up. He has this famous instructional, Just Stand Up, how jiu-jitsu doesn't work if you just stand up. it's an entire 2-hour fucking instructional about using turtle to stand back up without giving up your back. Like that is, this entire 2-hour DVD is designed to get up to your feet without giving up your back. This is going to be fucking huge. This is going to be huge for JDM. He's going to need this because obviously that's where Belal kind of breaks the mold of the traditional wrestler. You know what I mean? Like again, when Leon Edwards fought Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman, they were taking Leon down. And then what was Leon doing? Turtling to his knees and then standing back up every single time with no problem. Well, Belal, when he fought Leon, he would take Leon down, Leon would turtle, Belal would take his back with a body triangle, and then all of a sudden that was a very different fight. That is where Belal is not just a traditional wrestler. He can do a lot more. So that's huge. Those are the two battles that JDM needs to win. The pressure battle and the not giving up your back battle are two of the absolute biggest things he needs to win. And look, I'm not confident in his ability to prevent the takedown. I'm just being honest. I'm not confident in JDM's ability to stop the takedown. I think that we've just seen too many times how his high guard's gotten him in trouble. Now, maybe JDM's going to switch up things for this fight. I don't know. Again, I don't know what he's working on in his camp. If I did, I could be a little bit more definitive about it. But look, I think no one's going to disagree that this fight in particular, we're betting over on rounds. We are betting over on rounds. That's, to me, the only logical thing. All right, now let's build this fucking parlay. Let's build this fucking parlay. As you see, I already kind of have a bit of a mock thing built here. I don't know. But currently, I've got Jose Aldo wins by decision plus 100. I think are very good odds. Shay, can JDM knock him out? I mean, yeah, theoretically for sure, JDM's capable of it. I wouldn't be super bearish on that. Super bullish on that, I should say. It's just going to come down to whether or not, JDM's knockouts come from accuracy and volume. It's kind of hard to do that against Belal because of how well Belal moves on the feet. I think that he's going to need to land like a head kick or a knee, Only $25. Okay, Tyler, again, when I am giving a parlay, that's different than my personal bets. You know what I mean? They're different. Two different things. But Valentina Shevchenko wins by decisions plus 200. Belal and JDM to go over 3.5 rounds is pretty decent odds for two guys who, let's be honest, Belal, decision machine, JDM again, right? Right? You know what I mean? And then Natalia Silva at minus 240, I think is very good odds. $25 will win you 260. Now again, if I were to try to dig myself out of this hole, how much would I need? That's not going to do it. I would need about, if I were to bet $2,200, that would be enough to dig me out of this gambling hole. But let's see. Let's see what we can do here. Let me try to make a completely safe parlay here. Let me try to make like the safest, lowest risk parlay I could think of right here. Let's take a look at this. Okay. Jesus, Benoit Santanis is now a minus 1,600. You know what? I actually wonder if you can get a nice little double chance here on Benoit. There might be a nice little double chance here. Damn, wins by KO, TKO, or DQ. Plus 150. Damn, that's actually crazy. Plus 150? He's the underdog to win by KO or TKO? That kind of seems surprising. I would love a double chance, though, if they have that. Here we go. Okay. Minus 500. Those are certainly better odds. So basically just Benoit wins by finish. No matter what happens, Benoit will finish this fight. At only a minus 500 is not bad. Honestly, Benoit by sub or decision's not bad either. Submission or decision's not bad. Damn, dude, I don't know. I don't know. What do you got? I think you can actually make a decent profit on maybe one of these double chances. Or maybe even just bet on a submission happening, period. You know? You know what? You know what? Oh, Tyler, we'll do a safe parlay after this. We'll do a safe parlay after this. Never mind. We're not doing a safe parlay. I'm exploring odds here. Is there just a Benoit wins inside of the distance? Minus 500. Bedtime said submission, so go for submission. Look, no offense to Bedtime. You know I love the guy. I do. I love the guy. But, you know, no. I mean, I'm not saying he won't win by submission, but that's not evidence for me to go for it. Damn, dude. Maybe Benoit by sub or decision. But what if he lands that fucking head? Well, no. Okay. You know what though? Like we said though, Propolic is a southpaw, which is gonna really limit Benoit's kicking game. Propelic being a southpaw really limits Benoit's kicking game, which I think kind of lowers the chance of Benoit actually finding a KO. All right. Okay. You know what, dude? Benoit by sub or decision. Benoit by sub or decision I really like. At a minus 142, dude. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad at all, man. How much is it for him just by sub? Let's see. Plus 110. But wouldn't they prep for that, though? Like, I don't know. That's the basic game planning, in my opinion. I mean, yes, Aaron, for sure. But I think that the problem is that, like, Benoit didn't throw many kicks against Dustin Poirier, and they knew he was going to be a southpaw because they just knew that his kicking game wasn't going to work the same way. You know what I mean? No, Benoit is also an orthodox. Benoit, is also a southpaw. They're both southpaws. So, all right. Fuck it. Benoit by sub. All right, never mind. We're doing a risky parlay first. Then we'll do a safe parlay. We're doing a risky parlay and then a safe parlay. That's what we're doing. Okay, so we got Benoit. Let's see what else do we got now. Natalia Silva to win 100%. Jesus, over a round and a half is minus 800. How will the fight end? Dude, you know what, man? I think not even betting on winner or loser for this one, and I think just going decision might be the move. Minus 325 I don't think is that bad. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think about Aldo Zahabi decision? I think that's probably as safe as you can get, to be fair. You know what I mean? You know? Stop betting on women's fights? No, dude. I actually researched Natalia Silva. Aldo under on strikes? I don't know, man. I don't know. See, that I feel like that's where the props start getting a little sketchy. Like, I don't want to get too specific. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too specific. Shay's 1 for 4 on women's fights. Tuma, I don't even know where the fuck you're getting that from, man. All right, what else do we got here? Yeah, dude, I'm gonna go Valentina. I'm gonna go Valentina by decision. Here we go. Method. Valentina wins by KO, TKO. Valentina wins by decision. Minus 200's very solid. And then, yeah, we got Valentina. And then, yeah, dude, I think over on rounds for this one's money. I just hope JDM doesn't fucking kick him in the head. Let's see. Yeah, minus 260 at 3.5. I actually really like. So we got a 5-fight parlay here, minus 59. How much will 25 win you? 379. 379. I mean, look, I don't think this is a super, super risky one. I mean, if we really wanted to go risk, I guess you can just bet. Wait. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you want to go slightly more risk on this one, I guess you'd bet decision, to be fair, and that's going to increase the odds by a little bit. Yeah, now that's 438. Dude, I don't mind this, to be fair, at all, to be fair. Like, I was kind of trying to go a little bit more risk, but I really don't mind this. I don't mind this at all. Shay, do you think there's any risk on betting on Valentina by decision instead of just Valentina? Well, that's a good question. Let's take a look at Valentina Shevchenko's record. Again, I think Manon Fiorot is a very solid striker. I think she's pretty defensively sound. I don't think she overextends much. And let's see. Decision. She got submitted. Decision. Ooh, she did TKO Lauren Murphy, round 4. Ooh, she did TKO Jessica Andrade. Decision, TKO, decision. Yeah, I mean, I think like Valentina, it's her propensity at this point to land a head kick. It's her propensity to land a head kick is the interesting thing for this matchup. Which I don't know. I mean, Manon Fiorot's tall. She's very defensively sound on the feet. I think that, I mean, what are the odds on Valentina to win? Let's take a look. Valentina just to wins plus 107. Like, yeah, dude, like, I mean, how much does that change the odds? Actually, quite a bit, believe it or not. Damn, you almost lose like $150 changing that one. That's really surprising. So, like, obviously, I think just betting on Valentina is a lot safer. Fiorot is a girthy Jaffa cake. I never thought I'd ever call a woman fighter girthy, to be fair. I never thought I would call a woman fighter girthy. That's a first from me, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, look, based MMA, and it's another thing, too, again, with Valentina, she's 37 years old now, and it is kind of a question of, like, when are the wheels going to fall off of her, you know? But I think that, I think that overall, I think that Valentina is so much quicker on the feet, for sure. There were women on the girth tier list, though. Yo, that's a good point, Aaron. I forgot that I did that, to be fair. I forgot that I did that. I completely forgot that I did that. That's fair enough. Wait, Fiorot's 37 as well? Really? No, she's 35. I knew she's 35. I knew she wasn't 37. Let me see. I'm telling you, female fighters can age longer in the UFC. Aaron, I do believe you on that. I do believe you on that. Oh, Aaron Yogurt, thank you for the 5 BJN. Belal moving up to fight Dricus for the title of biggest goofball striker will be legendary. I gotta be honest with you. I think that Belal would get fucking crucified against Dricus. Like, I don't think that's a close fight. And I'm sorry, I that's just not a close fight. It's not a close fight. I think that, like, Belal, again, like, what's he gonna, is he gonna pressure DDP, try to get in his face? He's gonna get fucking cracked. I think that DDP is like a legit, like, skillful K1 striker. You know what I mean? He can throw spinning back fists, spinning back kicks, high kicks, leg kicks. He can wrestle and he can grapple at a decently high level himself. Like, where does Belal have any advantage there? You know what I mean? Like, dude, there's no way. Like, I get you, Belal is girthy, but, like, he ain't as girthy as Dricus. Like, not even fucking close. Like, dude, that would not be good. That would not be good. So why do you pronounce Aaron and Aaron's name the same way? Is that not, am I doing it wrong? Is that not right? Do you not pronounce Aaron like Aaron? Aren't they pronounced the same, just spelled differently? Like one's a masculine and one's a feminine way to do it, right? Is what I thought. All right. Now let me try to build the safest parlay I physically can. Let me try to be absolutely, completely risk adverse on this one. Let me try to be completely and utterly 100% risk adverse. We're taking Benoit Saint-Denis just to win. Let's see. How much does minus 1,600 get you? $1.56. You'll make $1.50 if you bet $25 on Benoit Saint-Denis to win this fight. But all right. And then again, Natalia Silva for sure. Man, if we're being really, really safe, I don't think I want to bet on Jose Aldo to win because I'm worried about his propensity to not be active enough, and I'm worried that he's old and full of mold. Now, I know Amin Zahabi is also old and full of mold as well, and Jose is going to have a big size advantage. But I don't know, man. Jose Aldo wins by I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous. Shevchenko's a little risky too, to be fair, yeah. Shevchenko's a little risky too for that exact same reason. She's getting up there in age. But I don't know, Aaron has told me that women just last longer, which I do kind of agree with. All right, no, I'm still rocking with Valentina. And fuck it, I'm still rocking with Jose Aldo too. Fuck it. Fuck it. And then for this one, what is the safest thing I think you can physically bet? I would say you can't get any safer than like over 2.5 rounds. You know what I mean? I think like over 2.5 rounds. I think this is a very safe 5-round parlay. The odds on it aren't great for 5 legs, but you know, what are you going to do? $25 will still win you $123. And I do think this is a pretty safe parlay. You know what I mean? But like taking Benoit off, like what does that change? Okay, make an extra $7 adding Benoit onto the parlay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would keep it this. You know what I mean? You got 4 legs right here. I think that's pretty good. Hey, Shay, can you get a safe parlay for my bottom boyfriend? This is it, bro, right here. This is it. Oh, JR1Q2928. Thank you for the $2. What's your body count? With or without prostitutes? You're going to have to be specific on that one because those are 2 different numbers. Those are 2 different numbers right there. So, I guess whichever one you want more. When was the last time Valentina looked all that great on the feet, Shay? Dude, I thought she looked pretty. I thought she looked decent on the feet against Alexa Grasso the last fight. I mean, again, Alexa Grasso is a decent boxer and she could definitely crack. But I think for the most part, she did a really good job staying safe on the feet. I think she is super, super quick. What website are you betting on? I am betting on DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code MMAShay, by the way. Hey, guys, if you are a brand new customer and you bet $5 on anything, you will instantly get $200 in bonus bets as long as you're a brand new customer. As long as you're a brand new customer. So, there you go. Okay, let's see. Without prostitutes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10. Without escorts, it's 10. God, I know if I started betting, I'd get addicted. It seems like a lot of fun, but I know I'd ruin my life. I mean, dude, honestly, Aaron, I can tell you this wholeheartedly. Like, I personally never feel like I never got addicted. I never got addicted to betting. Counting his imaginary friends. No, yeah, I would say 10 JR1 if you're not counting if you're not counting when I paid for it. I'd say like 10. If we're counting women I've paid for, I'd say like 15. I'd say 15 if we're counting women I've paid for. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it. Am I counting cardboard cutouts of UFC fighters? Well, no. If I was, then that would be 11. If I was, that would be 11. But again, use code MMA Shay on DraftKings. Addiction runs in the family and I'm prone to it. Yeah. Yes, Tyler. Yeah. Which that I don't count. Like, you know what I mean? That's not the same as like, because the women there, like, that's like their actual legitimate profession. You know what I mean? Like, it's different there. Like, it's like a real business over there. You know, it's a little different. What's your big bet for the card? My big bet for the card is, I would say $5,000 on JDM by third round KO. Again, DraftKings and use code MMA Shay. If you're a brand, I mean, legitimately, if you're a brand new customer and you bet just $5, they will give you $200 in bonus bets. You just get that to just now bet with. It's actually a legitimate good deal. But again, only if you're a brand new customer. I want to make sure everybody knows what's up. This is really the worst inspiration towards being a decent human being. Jesus, how? How is that, dude? What do you mean, Sam? Like, dude, some people like murder other people. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that a little worse? I think that's the worst. Dude, Amin Zaza, I'm right there with you, dude. I'm right there with you. Legitimately, I'm right there with you. Nah, this is worse, Shay. Ah, fair enough. I mean, Sam, though, like, dude, the throw the losing teeth in there it's, you know what I mean? Like, that's, you know, gets pegged. Shut up, Cuoca. I mean, obviously, Goofy Goober, like, obviously she's a girl. So, like, when you say, like, is she high level even relative to male standards? Like, I mean, I don't know. She's a girl. So, but, like, yes, she's very good. You know, honestly, I don't know exactly about DraftKings, how it works in other countries. I don't know. But, you know. Yeah, I don't know. He's going to hit none of his bets and blame it on Trump. Nah, man. Nah. I could have that Big Panda, but dude, at the same time though, dude, like like me missing my teeth is kind of my brand at this point. Can you find out? All right, sure, John Paul. Let me talk to my local expert. Hello, I have a quick question. Is DraftKings Sportsbook available in Russia?
DraftKings Sportsbook is not available in Russia. In March 2022, the company suspended betting on Russian and Belarusian sports leagues due to geopolitical tensions.
What about Spain?
DraftKings Sportsbook is not available in Spain. Sports betting in Spain is regulated by the Spanish government, and only licensed operators are allowed to offer betting services within the country.
All right. Well, sorry, you guys. My bad. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. You don't think it's irresponsible to promote DraftKings? No, I don't. I don't, Haunter. I don't. I do not think it's irresponsible to promote DraftKings. No, I don't think so. What happened? I just got back. Oh, well, MMA news. Nothing really. Nothing really. Yeah, that's rough. Sorry, guys. Oh, interesting, Larry. Dude, Larry, I haven't seen you around here in so long. What's up? You try getting a Prize Pick sponsorship? No. The only other people that have reached out to me was like crypto casinos. I just have to tell them that like I'm already working with somebody else, unfortunately. Sorry. What are your viewers' demographics? My number one demographic is 25 to 36-year-olds. My second is 18 to 24. It's like 98% men and like 2% women at this point, something like that. Mostly like my viewers like mostly in the US, Canada, the UK, a little bit in Australia. I mean, yeah, I don't need to work with crypto because I'm working with DraftKings. Has a parlay ever hit? Yes, a parlay's hit. Yeah, honestly, John Paul, it's more women than it used to be for sure. I feel like if you invested in an editor, they want all of it for themselves. If you would blow up, I don't know. You think so? You think so? But like what? Like what? Like a really high produced fucking video? I don't know, man. Maybe. I also wouldn't trust an editor to go find the screenshots that I need to convey the points that I like to make about like what I'm talking about, you know? Like it's pretty tedious to go through the fights and screenshot like every frame to show my points. But it's like I don't know if I can get you know, I don't know if I could I don't know. I don't know if I can trust an editor to go find that himself, you know? What is anyone doing watching you at 36? If I'm 36 watching MMA Shay, I will know God showing me a sign to kill myself. I mean, I don't know, man. I think I'm open for all ages. You know what I mean? I mean, definitely not children. I wouldn't say children should watch me, but apart from that, you know. I mean, look, SYZ, legitimately, I have elite retention. My videos have elite retention. And I never even really knew. I didn't realize I did until I started looking into it. But I have elite retention. Like top 0.1% of like of retention I hit. Like pretty much every video I post, about 65% of it gets watched through. Which I didn't realize. I didn't know. I was just like, oh, that's normal, I think. And then I looked it up and I'm like, no, that's elite. Oh, geez. Well, sorry, Tony has died. Again, my bad. What's the promo code? Oh, Jaden, thank you for asking. It is MMA Shay. Just like that. That's the promo code. Again, if you're a brand new customer and you bet $5, they will give you $200. So like, even if you're not into sports betting, like that's, you know, boom, there you go. You know what I mean? Like, psh, I get to bet $5 and they'll give me $200 in bonus bets to play around with. Like, fucking, there you go, dude. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. Oh, thank you, Anthony. I'm glad you think so. I'm glad you think so, AD. I appreciate it. When is a UFC fighter bussy tier list? Yeah, never. But I think my next tier list will be submissions. I think I'll do that. I'm excited about that one. That's a good one for me to do because like I feel like I just like, you know what? I've learned making tier lists are really hard when you're doing very subjective tier lists because oh my Lord, do people get really pissed off at you for every single decision that you make. But, you know, but like one like that, I feel like there's obviously some subjective elements to it, but like it's not quite the same. Like I feel like I can be a lot more definitive with it. Yeah, I know, Dan. We saw that, and I don't know what that means. Like, what is it? So Islam's not going to vacate his belt? Are they going to do they must do an interim then, I guess. Oh, SYZ. I'm really glad, dude. Thank you, man. I'm glad you stuck around this long, dude. That's wild. Well, but Tyler, it's not like, but again, like that, yeah, that tier list was fucking cancer because, like, dude, but like you literally can't argue otherwise, Tyler. You can't. On a well-rounded tier list, if you literally just haven't even shown to do something, how can I put you in the most well-rounded? Like, that's crazy. That tier list, like, people just didn't get it. They didn't understand. And they were, God, I never want to make a tier list like that again. That was cancer. That was literally cancer. Oh, that was horrible. I mean, yeah, I don't know, MMA news. That's a good question, man. That's a really good question. I'm so curious about what's going on with all of this because, do you remember when Ali said that it was all completely fake news, that that Islam was waiting for the results of BSD? No, Tyler, not true. See, not true. No, that's not true. It's not that the top tier fighters had to have gone fight. Well, I mean, again, it was the most well-rounded tier list in terms of all of MMA. Cardio and an ability to go 5 rounds is part of that. Tom Aspinall has literally never done that, and you're calling me a moron for not like, no, he's never done this. So no, he's not going to automatically go with people who have shown an ability to do that. Just simply no. And I was getting berated. That tier list fucking took years off my life. Yeah, well, 100%, Larry. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's part of it. You know what I mean? It's like, do you have cardio for days? Have you ever shown us that before? Well, no. Then sorry. I mean, what do you want me to do? I'm just complaining for the. I'm not actually upset about it. Well, MMA news. I don't think specifically getting round 1 knockouts is it. I mean, do you have a knockout ability in general? I think is more important. You know what I mean? I think that's more important than just specifically in the first round. You know what I mean? Man. Well, guys, today's been quite a good stream. I had a really good time today with all of you. I really mean that. I really appreciated all of that. But more important for what? Being well-rounded MMA news? No. Like, again, like, what do you mean? More important to what? What do you mean? More important to what? It's not it wasn't a who's better tier list. It's who specifically has like the fucking deepest bag at everything. Winning in round 1 is more important. More important to what? Being well-rounded? No, that's just literally not true, MMA news. God, I don't ever want to talk about that tier list ever again. Well, oh, nice. I mean, it was good thing it wasn't purely skill set. Good thing I specifically said about 1,000 times, it's not skill set, it's everything. I specifically did a circle motion with my hand every time. I was like, everything. Every aspect of MMA is going into this. Every aspect. Skill set's a part of that, but there's more than that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, sorry. Well, Tom has just literally never, ever shown us if he can go past 2 rounds. And you know what I mean? Well, nice MMA news. I specifically said that's not everything. So there we go. We're done here. MMA news. We're done. I win and you lose. I win. Yeah, Larry. I'll pin the start of the parlay. I'll pin the start. Yeah, again, SYZ. Again, I'm just at this point I'm just bitching for the fun of it. But MMA news, GSP has definitely shown inability to knock people out. I mean, again, he knocked out Michael Bisping in the 3rd round. You know what I mean? But that's why is rounds 1 and 2 knockout more important? Like that's not the factor. You know what I mean? That's not the fact. I mean, I guess that is something. You know what I mean? I mean, again, in the terms of MMA well-roundedness as a whole, I mean, yeah, Tom certainly has shown power and speed, but like that, yeah, then that helped him in that one area for sure. You know. In that one area, that did give Tom a little boost in his rankings, but like, you know, that literally has nothing to do with the fact that, you know, he literally physically cannot be S-tier well-roundedness if he just has, we've never seen certain skills from him. You know what I mean? Or certain attributes or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Again, like, why round 1? Okay, how about round 3 knockouts then? Oh, this guy only knocks people out in the 3rd round. Oh. I know MMA news, you're starting to get it. You're starting to understand why GSP was S tier and why Tom Aspinall couldn't have been. You're starting to get it. You're starting to get it. You're finally starting to put it together. Any recent news on aliens or Bigfoot? Yeah, you know what? Bigfoot, no. We could do another Bigfoot stream one of these days, though. I have missed that. What's your point? That GSP has absolutely shown to be more well-rounded currently than Tom Aspinall. Oh, you do agree that GSP is S tier, but he doesn't get round 1 and 2 KOs though. Specifically rounds 1 and 2 KOs. He specifically round 1 or 2 KOs doesn't get those. So that, you know. But yeah, in terms of aliens, man, I mean, I don't know, dude. It's just like, it's such a fucking, I mean, there's some shit going on, but it's such a clusterfuck. You know what I mean? All the alien shit right now is just such a clusterfuck. Do a Bigfoot hunting stream, dude. That would be fun. BSDS staff again? Well, who gives a fuck? But my point is that you can't say to have shown that you need to go 5 rounds, but GSP has never shown that he can KO you with a jab. No, I think you can. I think you can. I think having cardio is definitely a more vital aspect of MMA than an ability to specifically knock people out with jabs. MMA news. I think. Yeah. You said you can't say that. Well, I'm saying you can say that. No. You can actually say that. You can say that cardio as a whole and an ability to go all 5 rounds is more, I mean, yeah, maybe if you were completely incapable of knocking anybody out, then yeah, that would definitely put you down for sure in terms of being well-rounded. But like a jab, no. Yeah, no. Being able to be able with jabs is not as important as cardio. Like, no way. Like, just simply no. Just simply no. John Wings, you've been against me since the stream started, man. What did I ever do to you, John Wings? What did I ever do to you, man? So, okay, MMA News. So you don't think GSP has any propensity to knock people out? Because you said he jab. But no, you mean like, so you don't think GSP has shown a propensity to knock people out?
Who wins? Che with 2 front teeth, no gambling addiction versus Che without 2 front teeth, gambling addicted.
The voice is back. What the fuck? It's back. Well, Kay, thank you for the $5. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Streamlabs. I don't know why all of a sudden it started working again finally. Yeah, I don't know. Who in Shay with 2 front teeth, no gambling addiction, or Shay without 2 front teeth and a gambling addiction? Aspinall does not need to. No, that's not a fallacy, dude. No, this is insane. This is literally insane. This is insane. This conversation is stupid. I love when someone just sprinkles that in the very. Oh, it's a fallacy actually, because he doesn't need to. No, it's a fucking well-rounded list of things that you can do and abilities that you have. If you've never done something before, then I'm sorry. I'm not gonna just assume that you have it. It's not a fallacy. I'm just gonna start saying that everything you say is a fallacy without any. Which fallacy is it, MMA News? Which fallacy is it? Okay, all right, okay. Well, thank you for. I'm okay. MMA News. I feel a little bit better now that I know that you're trolling. You were getting me riled up. Yes, to answer your final question, I would say that GSP sucks if he landed a jab. That has been my point. Is that Tom Aspinall sucks? Is what I've been trying to say this whole time. You know what, dude? Honestly, Kay, I'm pretty sure me with a gambling addiction is a lot feistier than me without one. I think me with a gambling addiction is way feistier. Way feistier. So I would say me with a gambling addiction crushes me without it. No, I know. I know, John Wings. I love you too. I know. I love you, John Wings. Thank you for the £2. Well, I've never assumed that GSP can KO you with a jab. I mean, I'm sure he could, theoretically. I mean, again, it just depends on how well he timed the jab. You know what I mean? Like, if he caught somebody moving into it and he caught him around, like, yeah, of course he could definitely catch him with a jab. But, like, it's just more knockout ability in general. You know what I mean? That's what it's knockout ability in general. Is not specifically the jab. Again, you're getting specific bringing up a jab. But being able to go 5 rounds is not specific. That's like just like a broad point in MMA. You know what I mean? Like, again, right? Like, I mean, it's different. Like, Merab can go 5 rounds pushing a really hard pace. Other guys can go 5 rounds just because they just are very low output and don't really do anything. You know what I mean? I mean, both those things are those are 2 very different ways of doing things. What? Why is it general now? You said it's everything. What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Like, I'm just so lost now. I'm so confused. I'm definitely getting rage baited. Like, what? I'm not the one that brought up a jab. It's yours being specific. I wasn't specific. No, I don't. MMA News. I don't know. I'm so lost. I'm being rage baited. What a fallacy, Shay. Aspinall is also a tier. I guess I was fallacied. I guess it was a fallacy. No, yeah, Larry, I don't know. I do need to get my teeth done this year, but it just kind of comes down to me making the appointment. But yeah, I need to get it done this year because the problem is that by the time I turn 26, which will be next year, I guess I could technically wait till next year. Basically, once I'm 26, I'm not covered under insurance anymore. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, Tyler. What if I lose my charm with my teeth? That's kind of what I'm worried about. Well, MMA news, you just did a fallacy, actually. You just did a fallacy. You literally said it's about every single aspect of MMA. I did. So why is an ability to go 5 rounds more impressive than nobody being able to do so because you're so dangerous? Fallacy. Yeah, legitimately, that's a fallacy, and I'll actually explain why it's a fallacy instead of just not saying anything and just saying it's a fallacy. The reason why it's a fallacy, what you just said, is because nobody said it's more important. Nobody said it's more important, but it is a factor that Tom didn't have. He doesn't have one. He's never gone 5 rounds. We've never seen it. As far as we know, he doesn't have that skill. We've never seen it. So it's not that it's better to go 5 rounds than not go 5 rounds, but GSP has knocked people out, and he has gone 5 rounds. So he has shown a skill that Tom has. Not as good as Tom, but, he's still shown an ability to finish people and go 5 rounds. Tom has never gone 5 rounds. So... Well, again, right? Again, I never went specifics in terms of how you knock people out. I mean, I don't know. And earlier you went, oh, now you're getting general and not specific all of a sudden. I never got specific. You got specific by bringing up a jab. I never said specific. I just said knockout ability in general. You know what I mean? Why are you still debating with MMA News? Well, MMA News is my buddy. Me and MMA News are pals. So I'm more open to these fucking brutal fights. Well, yeah, everything, right? You got fucking knockout ability, you've got your skill set, you've got your cardio, you've got, anything you could think of in MMA, right? But nobody specifically went, okay, but can you knock people out with a jab, though? How about a right high kick? How about a left high kick? Can you knock people out with a liver shot? Can you knock people out with this? I mean, I guess technically you can get into that if you want, technically. But, why do you keep saying jab? What, jab? I get it. He did drop Curtis Blades with a jab. Curtis Blades was still definitely up, and then Tom finished him with ground and pound. Technically, I don't think he knocked him out with a jab. He dropped him with a jab. But, again, I just think Tom has a skill that he's never, ever shown. And GSP has shown knockout ability. He has shown, the more, I definitely, I think, Yeah, he's very dangerous offensively in round 1. That we agree on. And, yeah, we agree on that. Tom's dangerous round 1 for sure. Tom is definitely more dangerous than GSP round 1, for sure. He's more dangerous. But in terms of a well-rounded, in terms of all of these different aspects, have you shown an ability to do all of these different things? Well, Tom just literally has never shown an ability for something. Kind of hurts him on the list. Doesn't mean it's better than Tom. Doesn't mean it's worse. Again, we're not doing a who's better or who's worse tier list, That would be it. That would be fun, Tyler, to do. That'd be fun. For sure, B. Johnson. Yeah, for sure. Again, while I was making the tier list, I was very clear that I was look, Tom has the potential to be S tier. We just need to see more from him, When has Tom finished somebody in the UFC with a kick? When has Tom finished anybody in the UFC with a kick? I don't think he's done that. But, see, MMA News, dude, the problem is, though, man, is that, the problem is, none of what you just said has to do with the reasoning of why Tom was where he was. You know what I mean? Dude, I'm telling you, nothing about Tom Aspinall's finishing ability hurt him on this list. All right? You don't need to argue with me about how good Tom Aspinall is at finishing people. That he was as high as he was because of his finishing ability. That's, his elite thing. But that's not him being able to do that. That didn't hurt him. That only helped him, all those abilities. Oh, yeah, Aaron, I'll definitely be live streaming the card tomorrow. Not that you should care, Aaron, because you're never here on Saturdays when I watch the cards. You're never here, is something I've noticed. Sometimes a fake version of you comes and flirts with Jackson, but, Yes, MMA news. You're right. Correct. Yep. Correct. 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 Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, if he never, ever, ever shows an ability to go for 25 minutes straight, then he on a specifically well-rounded tier list that we did in that setting. No, yeah, he can't be right. If you've never shown us a skill, then you've never shown us that skill. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. I think GSP has absolutely shown an ability to finish you in round one. Yeah, I mean, he certainly he has shown an ability to do it for sure. Definitely. He has absolutely shown an ability to. Definitely. Honestly, Aaron, yeah, that might be a good idea. I don't know. WWR is better. I don't know. Shay, what's it like being the ugly friend, constantly having to hear girls flirt with your friends but never yourself? Uh, uh, dude, truthfully, I don't know if I don't know. I would never say I don't know. I don't feel like I've ever specifically been in that area, to be honest with you. It certainly would suck to be in that area for sure. Luckily, the thing with me and my friends are, like everybody in chat pointed out last time they were here, is that we are a diversity hire essentially, and we're all completely different races. So, typically, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's very rare to have a girl that would be into me and then into Marcus. You know what I mean? Like, those are two different, very different, we're different demographics. I guess me and Jackson are a lot closer, I guess. Jackson could be your cousin, bro. Yeah, see, Jackson's a little different. Though Jackson has had a girlfriend for a long time. So it's not really a problem, you know what I mean? Yeah, that was fucking rough. That hurt. Look, Gooby Goober, I wouldn't say there's a high likelihood. A high likelihood is, I wouldn't say that. I think it's possible, but again, because Belal does such a good job moving and never getting stationary and constantly shifting back and forth and doing a good job staying safe on the feet defensively, I don't think so. I think JDM needs to land something more than a shot. I think he needs to, a head kick, maybe a really good body kick, maybe like a good liver shot, maybe, theoretically, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a very tough fight for JDM. I think it's going to be a very tough, I do not think it's going to be an easy fight for JDM at all. Yeah, Squid Game. I mean, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I mean, look, man, if we ever do a tier list for fucking for finishing ability, there's nobody higher than fucking Tom Aspinall. Nobody's higher than Tom Aspinall if we're doing one specifically for finishing ability. I don't know, MMA news. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe. Wouldn't that be something if JDM fucking lands a spinning back kick? That would be wild. Like Belal's gonna TKO him in the later rounds. I mean, yeah, maybe if JDM's cardio really gets tested, and, he keeps getting taken down, keeps fighting to get back up, keeps giving up takedowns because of the high guard, I can absolutely see him, like, really fatiguing and then, really fatiguing, and then fucking Belal's going to put the pressure on him. You know what I mean? For sure. See, I don't know Sawyer because I think either of them by decision, but I don't mind that double bet though. I don't mind it. I think if you are going to do a double bet, I think that's one of the safer ones to do for sure. But I don't know. I think either of them by decision maybe. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen JDM go 5 rounds though. That's the problem. So we just don't know for certain. Belal to win under 4.5 rounds? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Oh, man. All right, guys. Okay. I tried to end the stream 35 minutes ago, but now I'm officially ending the stream. I'm out of here, guys. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you all very much for coming. I had a great time with all of you. I love all of you guys so much. Had a really good time streaming today. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. Don't you guys even worry.